Hey guys, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Barkley Romero and I'm with Keller Williams World Media Center and Homes with Barkley, and I am a realtor in the Los Angeles area. I wanted to make a video to let more of you know what is going on in the real estate market in America today, because some people are legitimately scared, and I understand that. Are we in a housing bubble? Well, to some people, they think it's already popped, but to other people, we're still in this housing market limbo until a couple months from now, when all the forbearance hasn't been paid and now people owe a bunch of money at once. I understand why people are freaking out, and I agree, it's not super fun to think about all these unknowns in the market, but the last housing market crash that we are all comparing this to is the one in 2007, 2008, which makes sense because that's what we lived through, it's what we know, it's what we remember. But in my professional opinion, I do not think this situation is necessarily comparable. And I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why I believe this statement to be true. Reason number 1, home prices are not fluctuating as much, meaning the appreciation rate is substantially lower than it was back in 2007, 2008. To understand why this is so important, we must first understand the terms appreciation and inflation. If you don't understand what these terms mean, don't worry, but I highly recommend subscribing to my channel because my next video will cover appreciation and inflation. Since the 90s, we've had a relatively steady inflation rate of the US dollar between 1 to 4%. Ideally, we want the rate of appreciation to be just above the rate of inflation, so that way we're making money on our investments, but housing and other products are still available to as much of the population as possible. Back in 07 and 08, the rate of appreciation was around 6%, which is not a bad number, but if we look back at years like 2004 and 2005 leading up to the crash, we were looking at appreciation above 10%, which was more than double what our inflation rate was at the time, like 3 or 4%. The second point is that mortgage lending standards have significantly tightened. There were a ton of lenders selling the American dream of homeownership at a low price, but with extremely high risk. The main problem was that people with little to no credit were qualifying for subprime loans, which are usually extremely difficult to take out. Now, lenders, especially my preferred ones, are working more responsibly to ensure that loans are attainable and affordable, but they really check the boxes to make sure that what they are lending is helping boost the economy as opposed to being a detriment. And if you're in LA and you do not have a trustworthy lender, please, please, please reach out. I have some incredible people that I can connect you with. Number 3 is one to keep in mind, especially in high demand markets like Los Angeles. We are in a seller's market right now, not a buyer's market. A thorough breakdown of what this means exactly will be in a few videos, so make sure you subscribe if you have any questions about this topic so you don't miss it. Pretty much starting in 2005, we were in a buyer's market, and of course, when the crash happened, we really got into a pickle because we already had too much inventory on the market. What I've been hearing that is making people nervous is that when all the COVID relief and forbearance is owed back in full, then homeowners won't be able to pay it and they will lose their homes. Yes, unfortunately, I'm sure that this will happen to many people here in the United States. But that being said, as far as our crystal ball is projecting, there should be enough buyers out there, serious buyers, to keep the market afloat. That means we can get people the best price that they deserve for their homes. And hopefully, not as many people will be forced into foreclosures like in 2008, which was absolutely devastating. Number 4, remember how I said lenders were giving out way more money than they should have been? Well, consumers were doing the same sort of irresponsible stuff with their home equities and refinancing. As Americans, we were pretty much balling on a budget, and that budget was our homes. Super dangerous. But in 2020, homeowners are treating their equity way more carefully. As you can see, we aren't even to the halfway point of home equity borrowed as we were back then, meaning that you, the American people, are being much more responsible with your money. Good job, fam. And with that, we're at number 5. Overall, homeowners have more equity in their homes. Nearly 40% of the population of homeowners own their home free and clear, absolutely no mortgage, meaning that if they were to sell today, that is money in their pockets. And of that remainder, which is a little over 60%, over a quarter of them have at least 50% equity in their home, putting us, the American people, in a much more stable position. These 5 stats lead me to believe that we are not headed to a crash that is similar to 2008. We are in a shift, meaning things will change. They have changed. But because of responsible lending and borrowing that you, the American people, have showed in the past few years, we should be in a relatively good position. And if you are one of those people who are thinking of getting into real estate investing or home buying, we're still seeing record low interest rates, meaning that this is a great time to do so. In a few weeks, I'll be doing a talk with a lender who is ranked in the top 1% of all lenders in the United States. So for more info on what it takes to borrow right now, the importance of interest rates, and the market from her perspective, make sure to subscribe and follow. Let's talk April numbers.
The numbers in Los Angeles for April were a bit wonky, but I think that's to be expected. We had only 725 new listings, as compared to the average of the last 5 years, which was 1,378 new listings. As for number of transactions, we had 434 closed transactions, as opposed to 842. But here's where it gets interesting. The average days on market for the past 5 years was 47 days, as compared to our 2020 number, which is only 32.
Meaning if you're thinking of selling now, more than ever, it is extremely important to price your home correctly and competitively. If you are in the state of California, reach out to me for a free virtual home assessment. If you aren't in the state of California, reach out to me anyway. I will personally connect you with an agent that I trust. I would love to know how all these facts make you feel about the market. Better? Worse? Let me know. Also, make sure you subscribe to stay up to date and learn more about the real estate market so that you can invest in a home and yourself in the near future. If you are currently ready to buy, sell, or just have questions about real estate in general, please make sure to send me a DM, schedule a talk on my Calendly, or write me an email at homeswithbarkley@gmail.com.